I think Tibbs just sent Kemba back up to the boogie down.
Take notes.
Big Beach! We're here.
My man, Alex,
It's different this time.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome back. Big news today. The Kemba Walker experience may be finished.
You know, it's really sad. When I came up and I was talking to you, like, oh, it's really sad. I'm so depressed. Because,
I'm
yeah.
so depressed.
Because it kind of is. Because
It's
Kemba
kinda-
came here and was so, all of New York was so excited to have Kemba here. Homegrown from Mount Vernon, New Yorker.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. He's obviously happy to be here. I'm coming back home. And 19 games in, and what we're seeing from him is not really reflecting. Well, not what we're seeing. Sorry, let me rephrase that. What we're seeing from him is not really good for the team.
That's best way to
not
put
really
it.
good for
Best
the
way
team.
to put it. We're 20 now, right? Because we're 11 and 9, and I said Tibbs gave it 20 games, but that Atlanta Hawks game gave him a lot of evidence. I would actually say it started a few games ago. Alec Burks came in playing the fourth quarter. Alec Burks has always been, since last year, a big fourth quarter guy for us.
Yeah.
Hitting big shots, playing good defense this season. You've seen quickly all year playing good defense. So Burks came in the fourth quarter, gave us a lot, played good defense. Against the Hawks, Kemba's out. We see the team without Kemba, and it just worked. The ball movement was better, right? It just felt like people understood their roles better. Obviously, defensively, Kemba is so small. We're going to talk about this as well. Teams were just hunting Kemba all season long. They're like, let's go at Kemba. And Kemba was giving his all. He was taking those charges. He was trying. But there are physical limitations to that. And
I only saw him in a few games where I feel like he started off the game really well. Like he had a nice little hot start. And then after that, that was it. So it was almost like you can really only play him for a quarter when you kind of slip him in there early in the game when the game is not too tight and not too hot.
Right.
Then he's okay to play.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big reasons that he's not playing right now, that he's out of the rotation, because that's exactly what they're saying, is that Julius Randle and Kemba Walker, to me, have not seemed to connect at all. Like, there's no gelling with those guys. And if Julius Randle is our star and is the leader of the team at the moment, then Kemba Walker is not going to work with the team.
Kemba Walker. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I agree. And it's not even a case of any kind of beef. I don't think it's that at all. I just think it's, some players just don't fit. As much as Alfred Payton is someone that was annoying for a lot of the fan base, him and Randall did have an understanding with each other. And I do think Randall struggled to build out with Kemba. Kemba struggled to build it with Randall. Tibbs gave it time, and unfortunately it's not working. But a couple more things add into this. Burks playing so well, and Burks is now going to be the starting point guard, which is kind of crazy when you think of it because he's not even a point guard. But this is where we're at, and I think, to be honest, for this team it makes sense.
It works.
And Emmanuel quickly has been he was great last season. He showed you a lot. This year he's showing even more of a complete game. His defense on Trae Young was excellent.
Oh my goodness.
All over him.
Yes.
He has the energy. He brings that every time he comes on the court. His defense has improved, as I mentioned. He's still hitting his shots. So IQ's out playing Kemba. The talk the past few games was kind of like, how long before IQ's playing over Kemba? Because at this point, he's outplaying him every game. And to add to that, just going to toss in my man here. Quentin Grimes is playing tough defense. The rookie is coming in. He's not hitting all his shots yet, but he's unafraid to take his shots. He's playing tough defense. Tibbs loves it, and the fact that now you can switch on defense and not worry that 6-foot Kemba is now going against a 6'7" player, which he cannot defend. It just doesn't work for Tibbs' system.
What about Jericho Sims? Because I got to give him a special mention at 6'9" and 7 foot with his afro.
Yeah,
this kid. Oh my goodness! I really, really enjoyed watching him play. And defense, even though he only scored I think 4 points in this last game against the Hawks, to me he was so instrumental in so many plays on the court, even though he didn't necessarily put up big points. And kind of the same with Randall. Even though Randall didn't put up big points, he was still facilitating a lot of the game and allowing other players to play and allowing everyone to kind of do their thing and make their points or play defense. Low scoring game. So yes, obviously it was a really, really defensive game.
Right. I think for Tibbs, right, and Jericho, that's another thing. We're going to see how the Jericho versus Noel versus Taj versus Mitch debate shakes out. Not really a debate. Obviously, Mitch is really the number one guy. But Noel's been injured a lot. I do think Noel could get traded
Mitch
at some point.
Mitch has been injured a lot. You say Mitch has been injured a lot, but he's been injured a lot.
So there's going to be a lot of change with this roster, but it does suck with the Kemba thing specifically because, you know, he had some good offensive moments, but it's almost like even if he played well, he was just kind of playing well in a vacuum, and the team itself wasn't necessarily clicking. So there are moments where Kemba would score 8, 9 points. He had some third quarters where he was killing it, but it's still really just him playing well. He cannot break down the defense. He can't really, at this point with his knees, get into the paint consistently, which as for all the faults with Alfred, he's able to at least get into the paint. So Kemba's not able to penetrate. He's not able to kick out to shooters. He's weak on defense. They're targeting him. I'm going to bring this stat up from Fred Katz, which is pretty damning, but it needs to be said. But a statistical summary of why the Knicks are pulling Kemba Walker from the rotation. The Knicks have the best defense in the league when he's on the bench, 99 defensive rating, and are dead last, 116.3 defensive rating when he's on the floor.
Doesn't
here's the
fit
worst
with the
thing.
team.
On offense, it's even worse. But it's not even worse, but it's also bad. 27th in offense with him playing, 9th with him off. Those are egregious numbers on both sides of the ball. Usually when a player is not really fitting, you might see one side of the ball, but it's both. And I don't know what's going to happen. My question is
he getting traded?
So, right.
Is that what's happening?
Listen, Leon Rose is the agent. I think, you know, this conversation with Kemba, however it happened, I don't think was anything controversial. I think they just told him this is what it is. He has a 2-year deal, so not impossible to trade, especially after the buyouts. It's going to be like $8 million per year. I definitely think someone will take him. I could see him on the Lakers since they want to collect everybody old. But we'll see. I would love if Kemba is on the bench for a couple months, kind of, you know, rest up a little bit. His body's pretty fragile. I think he's going to be the best teammate on the bench in the time being.
You don't need another person doing this.
Listen, I'm not saying whatever it is. I'm saying I would love. I don't care. I'm being biased towards Kemba right now. I'm not saying I definitely agree that he should not be playing based on, like, let's be honest, what we're seeing. But I would love if it was a comeback story, right? Because Kemba is a guy who I'm saying he's not going to be on the bench and suck. He's going to be on the bench and be part of the team and cheer and be there with everything, right?
Right.
That's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is that there's a conversation say, hey, look, that's not going to work out here. You're gonna get traded. Where do you want to get traded? We'll work with you, because I don't think they necessarily feel like we need to get something big for Kemba.
Right.
They want to do right by Kemba, because the whole thing with Kemba coming here, everything was kind of on the up and up. It's not anything secret going on.
So okay, I understand that Kemba was brought here to obviously be in the starting lineup and obviously be a point guard. What about him coming off the bench? Because our bench, as strong as they are, and they're outplaying the rest of the league, it seems like.
You can't break it up.
Don't want to break it up, but what if he can work somewhere in there?
Listen, we've seen players come back from anything, so I'll see. But I have a feeling that the way it's going, that I just maybe see a trade coming. Maybe Kemba's going to be Theo Pinson from now on. But, I mean, we'll see. He's got 2 years left. So, like, if Tim is taking him out the rotation now, it's not really a big chance of a comeback. Now, this could backfire, which I don't see happening. I do think we're going to be a better team now.
Okay.
I said it earlier in some videos. It feels like this team has a lot of talent, but a lot of it didn't fit, and there needs to be some consolidation because we had players doing the same things.
Right.
So pick one of them and trade some of those guys for somebody who'll do something different. I think I'm happy to see Quentin Grimes. I'm happy when we see the kids out there. I think Grimes is going to do well for us off the bench. But Alec Burks is the starting point guard, and Kemba Walker is out. 20 games. Who would have thought if I told you 20 games ago when they had Kemba in the marketing for everything?
If you told me that, I would have literally thought there was a huge injury, and that would be the only reason that he would not be
playing. He would not be playing,
that would
right?
be the only reason, yep.
It is what it is. Big week for us. We're going to be back with the post games. We got the Nets tomorrow, and we got the Bulls on Thursday. We will be in the building. I think we can win both games. I'm excited to see this team now because defensively, that was our identity, right? That was what we were last year. No matter what, we played hard. Against the Hawks, it came back.
Yep.
And I think, like you said, Tim saw it and it was like, you know what? See that right there? I want that, and I can't do it with Kemba.
And I want to say this. I saw a lot of it coming back with those young guys.
Yeah.
I loved that Tibbs allowed the young guys to play because they play, to me, they play with a lot more energy. They're quicker up and down the court.
Yep.
They also play with a lot more, I don't want to necessarily say heart, but a lot more hunger.
Yeah.
Because they're the young guys and because they know they need to prove themselves. So there's no, even I don't think we have any kind of star, well, I don't know, there might be a couple guys. But I feel like I really, really enjoy watching these young guys play. And they understand that Tibbs wants defense, and that's what they're giving us.
The young guys have been the best part of this season so far, right? So I'm loving if Grimes is now in the rotation. I think his defense has earned him a chance to be there, and that's what Tibbs wants. So we'll see. I love the fact that now we can switch on defense and not worry about anyone picking on Kemba, which the Suns did at the Garden. Their Suns, Chris Paul was like, "Where's Kemba? I'm going to him." He's finding Kemba every possession to beat him up. Things don't work out all the time. The Knicks always get a person a little bit too late. And at least this time we didn't pay him the big money. All right, guys, so we'll see. Let me know in the comments. Do you think there's any hope? Do you think there's any chance Kemba comes back in? I don't really see it, but I would love it to be an awesome story. But let's keep it real. He hasn't really been earning it. And I think we're going to see this team start to play a lot better going forward. Womp, womp, womp. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. See you guys next time.